Certainly, let's delve into the topic of climate change. Understanding climate change. 1. Definition. Climate change refers to long-term alterations in Earth's climate patterns, including temperature, precipitation, and wind patterns resulting from natural processes and human activities. 2. Causes of climate change. Greenhouse gas emissions. Human activities such as burning fossil fuels, coal, oil, and natural gas, deforestation, industrial processes, and agriculture release greenhouse gases, GHGs, into the atmosphere. These gases, including carbon dioxide, CO2, methane, CH4, and nitrous oxide, N2O, trap heat, leading to a warming effect known as the greenhouse effect. Deforestation, the clearing of forests for agriculture, urbanization, and timber extraction, reduces the number of trees available to absorb CO2 from the atmosphere, contributing to increased concentrations of GHGs. Industrialization. Industrial processes, including manufacturing, cement production, and chemical manufacturing, release GHGs such as CO2 and methane into the atmosphere, further exacerbating the greenhouse effect. 3. Effects of climate change. Rising temperatures. Climate change leads to increased global temperatures, resulting in heat waves, higher average temperatures, and shifts in temperature extremes. This warming trend impacts ecosystems, agriculture, human health, and economies worldwide. Melting ice caps and glaciers. Rising temperatures cause polar ice caps, glaciers, and ice sheets to melt at an accelerated rate, contributing to rising sea levels. This melting ice also disrupts ecosystems and habitats, endangering species dependent on these environments. Extreme weather events. Climate change intensifies the frequency and severity of extreme weather events, including hurricanes, droughts, floods, wildfires, and storms. These events have devastating impacts on communities, infrastructure, agriculture, and economies. Sea level rise. Melting ice sheets and glaciers, along with the thermal expansion of seawater due to warming temperatures, contribute to rising sea levels. This poses a significant threat to coastal communities, leading to erosion, inundation, and increased vulnerability to storm surges and flooding. Ocean acidification. Increased levels of atmospheric CO2 are absorbed by the world's oceans, leading to ocean acidification. This process alters marine ecosystems, affecting coral reefs, shellfish, and other marine organisms with calcium carbonate shells or skeletons, ultimately disrupting food webs and biodiversity. Implications of climate change. Human health. Climate change poses significant risks to human health, including heat-related illnesses, respiratory problems due to air pollution, increased prevalence of infectious diseases, and food and water insecurity resulting from changes in agricultural productivity and access to resources. Economic impact. The economic consequences of climate change are substantial, encompassing damage to infrastructure, property, and natural resources. Increased healthcare costs, loss of livelihoods in sectors such as agriculture, fisheries, and tourism, and the potential for climate-induced migration and conflicts over resources. Social justice. Climate change disproportionately affects vulnerable populations, including low-income communities, indigenous peoples, and marginalized groups, who often lack the resources and infrastructure to adapt to climate change impacts. Addressing climate change requires equity, justice, and inclusive solutions to ensure the resilience and well-being of all communities. 5. Mitigation and adaptation strategies. Reducing greenhouse gas emissions. Mitigating climate change requires reducing GHG emissions through transitioning to renewable energy sources, increasing energy efficiency, promoting sustainable transportation, and implementing policies to limit emissions from industries and land use. Adapting to climate change. Adapting to the impacts of climate change requires implementing measures to protect communities, infrastructure, and ecosystems from extreme weather events, rising sea levels, and other climate-related hazards. This includes enhancing resilience, building adaptive capacity, and integrating climate considerations into planning and decision-making processes. 6. International cooperation. Paris Agreement. The Paris Agreement, adopted in 2015 under the United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change, UNFCCC, aims to limit global warming to well below 2 degrees Celsius above pre-industrial levels and pursue efforts to limit the temperature increase to 1.5 degrees Celsius. The agreement outlines commitments from countries worldwide to reduce GHG emissions, enhance climate resilience, and support adaptation and mitigation efforts. In conclusion, Climate change is a complex and urgent global challenge that requires immediate and concerted action at the local, national, and international levels. Addressing the root causes of climate change, reducing greenhouse gas emissions, and promoting sustainable development are essential for safeguarding the planet and securing a sustainable future for generations to come.